Welcome to Pretty Assassin Diaries. I am your girl Elle, and I'm here to guide you on a journey of healing, growth, and rediscovery. Each episode is a step forward with insights and stories designed to inspire and empower. Let's dive in. Right now, the world is watching as another story of power and abuse comes to light. A story of trust betrayed and silence kept, one that sounds all too familiar. The diddler, they call him now. But for some of us, this isn't just a headline or a breaking news story. For some, it's the story of our own lives. I know this story because I survived it. Not with the same faces or the same names, but with an entity just as dark, just as destructive. I call it DIDLER of my city. A force that crept into my world, manipulating and hiding behind those I trusted most. Tonight, I'm sharing my encounter with this entity, not as a warning of what might happen, but as a testament to what did happen and to how I found the strength to defeat it. Welcome to the Pretty Assassin Diaries. Tonight, I want to share the story of an entity, a dark presence that crept into my life, a spirit that thrives on silence, secrecy, and fear. I call it the Diddler. This isn't just any ghost story. It's a true account of a haunting that followed me for years, lurking in the shadows of my own family. They say the diddler hides in familiar faces. It moves in darkness, cloaking itself as trust and love until it reveals its true intentions. My earliest memory of the presence came when I was barely 4, in the dim, flickering light of our living room. The air felt heavy, and even at that age, a chill settled over me as if something unseen lingered nearby. The entity's power is in its ability to blend in, to manipulate people into protecting it. For me, it began with someone I trusted deeply, a figure who was always nearby, seemed to carry a storm within, a shadow that only grew darker with time. As a child, I didn't understand the creeping feeling of fear and confusion, but I soon learned how the diddler works, how it wraps itself around the ones you love, forcing them to look away, even cover up its actions. I realized in time that the diddler was not just a presence, it was a sickness that had spread to those around me. It was the voice that told others to stay quiet, to ignore the cries of those it hurt. But even in that silence, I couldn't ignore what I felt. And when no one else would stand up, I knew I had to be the one to confront it. For as long as I can remember, there was a recurring dream, a haunting vision that would finally reveal the path I was meant to take. In the dream, I found myself running across a crumbling bridge, surrounded by dark skies, chased by a monstrous entity rising from beneath cracked, lava streaked pavement. To each side, people wandered blissfully unaware beneath clear skies and solid ground. But as I leapt from one cracked stone to the next, others began following me, mirroring my frantic steps to evade the beast behind us. The more we ran, the larger the entity grew, thriving on our fear. And then, in a moment of clarity, I stopped running. I turned to face the creature, knowing I had to confront it. As I spoke out, the entity began to shrink, its strength fading with every word until it sank back into the ground, defeated. The sky cleared, the ground smooth, and we were finally free, no longer trapped in that dark, confined space. It was then I understood. This dream wasn't just about escape, but about the power in facing the shadows and speaking up, not just for myself, but for others still caught in silence. That was the moment I knew I was being called to confront my own story and to lend my voice to those who could not speak. My journey to break free from the diddler's grasp wasn't easy. I faced resistance from those I thought would protect me. Even as I confronted the entity in my dream, I felt the weight of denial surrounding me, an invisible barrier as if no one else wanted to see what was truly there. But I kept going, knowing that silence would only feed the darkness. My voice grew stronger, and with each word, the entity weakened until it was gone, leaving us all free. Each time I spoke out, each time I took back a piece of my story, the entity grew weaker. Eventually, I found my weapon, my voice, my resilience, my healing. I began my healing by turning inward, journaling to confront the memories I'd once buried, studying each painful detail instead of suppressing it. With my therapist's guidance, I made the choice to distance myself not just from the abuser, but from anyone who enabled the silence. Forgiving myself for not breaking free sooner, I released the guilt and shame I'd carried for so long. I transformed that pain into purpose, sharing what I'd learned through my words, my music, my writing. I became an advocate, not only for myself, but for those still searching for their own voice. The diddler lost its power over me because I refused to let it define me. I became stronger than it ever expected. Now I carry this story as a reminder of the strength we all have. The diddler may still haunt others, but it won't control me. And if you or someone you know is haunted by it, know that you too have the power to stand up, to break free, and to reclaim your life. Thank you for joining me tonight. Remember, some of the scariest ghosts aren't the ones in stories. They're the ones we find the courage to defeat in our own lives. Thank you for listening to this episode. Your healing journey is important, and I'm so glad we're walking it together. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes where we'll dive even deeper into topics that uplift, inspire, and empower. Don't forget to visit my website, www.yourgirll.com, where you'll soon find free audiobooks to support your journey and tools to help you grow. Big things are coming, so keep an eye out and stay connected. Until next time, remember, every step forward is progress, no matter how small. You got this.